And now we have 690.
Let me explain something.
Mhm.
690. I had a situation last week and then this week
Yeah.
where the building inspector apparently, Ann Swain, determined that a portion of the attic should be counted as RGFA. So prior to that determination, the building was at 5,775 square feet, so 25 square feet short of RGFA trigger. So I had actually advertised it for RGFA and Scenic Road, given the fact that it is so close to the RGFA number. And so he would have been under the RGFA number, but then this determination was made, which you have a copy of, was made, actually, was last week. It was determined there might be an issue, and then this letter came today from Building Inspector John Field saying that he believes that the RGFA is 6085. So, it was advertised for both, so we're good there. And the document needs to be changed to 6085 based on the building inspector's determination. And I am optimistic that the building inspector will continue to provide written comments regarding each project that comes before the
And who was the gentleman that was representing?
Rick Oldstein. He was the one that came in and did the presentation, and then he was at the last meeting.
So he's
And
Keystone.
He's Keystone.
Okay.
And I talked with him today, and he doesn't have any issues with either the building inspector's determination or the decision. He originally included it as just attic space. The third floor does include a bedroom and a bathroom, but if the attic space were to be converted, first of all, it should probably be included anyhow, but it would allow new homeowners to convert should they decide on more space.
Okay, well, I don't know about anyone else, but I haven't read this. Has anyone else read it?
No.
We only have to read the italicized stuff.
But there's lots of it.
Well, I don't think we have any choice.
Just the italicized, right?
Pardon me?
Just the italicized.
Correct.
you wanna stay with it, we can find you a bed.
Okay.
We can clean sheets and all,
Wow.
sheets. And towels, all we use.
So much
So-
of it looks like it's boilerplate.
Oh, we should finish reading it
Yeah.
first.
But so much of it is not outside.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with
Listen
what's
here.
going on
Unrealistic. Open for public.
No,
there. All kinds of stuff.
yeah.
Even in the non-italicized stuff.
So, you in order, like this? That's a word. All of the same sentence. Otherwise, president will teach us political science. I completely agree with it all.
Never took any class.
When did you graduate?
Wow.
I had a high school friend who was there. Probably graduated in '74, I thought.
My sister was there during that.
Because she spent a lot of time in that too. She was smart, smart and cute.
Oh.
Adorable, but so you came back from Miami just so you could be there when we broke the record. Just so,
Yeah,
so you could say, oh,
Exactly.
yeah, I was here.
it snowed a little bit and then that made the record.
Yeah, I think we can go through.
Okay,
I have one correction that I caught.
okay, go ahead.
You're gonna die laughing. Page 2, and I know you've all got it.
Yeah,
Square foot, new house, 6055 to 6085.
Yeah.
And that's it, and that's when my brain checked out.
Okay. Anyone else have anything on page 1?
Wait a minute.
Or anything
The
on page 1?
Page 1, March 18th, in 2 locations.
Yeah,
It's 6085 in the first paragraph,
Mhm.
6085 in the discussion paragraph.
yeah,
Actually, the paragraph that I think Sue was just talking about, it should be 7975.
Really?
what are you talking about? On page 2?
On page 2, the paragraph that starts on February 18th,
Yeah.
because the original amount was 5775. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry, 5775.
With an extra 310, right?
So when this new attic addition was included, it was another 310.
When was that new attic addition included?
It was determined within the last week.
the building inspector.
But then why would they have ever come to us in the first place? Because it was on a scenic road.
Yeah.
So it kind of doesn't matter that much.
Mhm. Right,
Okay, 5775.
Yeah.
cool, okay.
A grammatical thing.
Yep, go
So
ahead.
the paragraph that it's sort of in the middle says on February 18th, 2015, the board opened. So next to last paragraph, the proposed house is to demolish, I'm sorry, the proposal is to demolish the existing 1950s cape and replace, I could insert it.
Did.
The other thing
Actually, I wouldn't have the word in there, but that's fine.
and replace with a RGFA.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I guess it's getting late and
Mhm.
it's easy to see many interpretations.
Put the it in.
The question that I have is, I added this, there's reference to board members without sort of introducing board members earlier. It will say, for example, I'm trying to see where I saw it. And now I can't really find it. I think, Mike,
Well, on or about January 15th,
Yeah.
2015, an application was filed with the planning board.
no, it's not that so much. It's only that,
Yeah, we used to have.
Yeah, where are you
in the
referring
discussion,
so we're on page 2 here,
Yeah,
right?
right.
March 18th, board members reviewed the decision.
I'm trying to look for something in which, in other words, there's a mention of a board member. Why don't we forget that, actually? Forget my comment
Hang on a second.
for the time being.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. I was thinking along those same lines, because we used to say that, where we say that, on February 18th, this is page 2, we held this public hearing,
Right.
and the following board members
Right,
were in
with
attendance.
the consultants, who was actually there.
Right.
Then when
Okay.
you reference those people later on, it says Adelot mentioned that, Oppenheimer noted that there was a tree, that type of thing.
No, I don't care whether you put this in tonight or not, or on this
Okay.
one, but it should be in statement
Perfect.
wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of things.
On page 2,
Yep.
go ahead.
So the last sentence in the house starting with February, in the paragraph starting with February 18th.
Yes.
Should be the house materials were to be wood shingle and crossed out the word side, just wood shingle,
Mhm.
walls and stone foundation, which they then get into later. And then, this is just minor, in the next paragraph, second line, the asphalt at the rear of the property, not to the rear of the property. But the main thing here is that there's no discussion, which is really important, about the changes they made after the sidewalk. And that whole discussion on the next page really needs to be moved to before the public hearing, because that happened on February 10th, and then the public hearing happened on February 18th.
That was sort of my point in the comment that I made on the right there, talking about timing of discussion, but there seemed to be.
Oh, that's your comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, the three paragraphs at the top of page 3 need to be moved before the February 18th discussion.
You see what I
Because
mean?
it's just out of
Yeah.
order, out of
But we
chronological order.
discussed all of that at one of the meetings.
But I think it reads as sequential.
No, but you always, the chronology is we go to the site visit,
Right.
which happened on February 10th. These things were discussed at the site visit, those three paragraphs.
But,
And then you have the public hearing on February 18th.
okay,
Yeah, but this is a discussion of the meeting that we had on February.
but I didn't include anything on the sidewalk.
Well, yeah, you
But-
did.
but what
It says at the
happened
site
was-
visit.
Roy said, I believe the discussion happened during the sidewalk, but all of my chronology was that all of that was reviewed in one of the discussions at a planning board meeting.
No, the three paragraphs at the top of page 3, we definitely discussed saving the maple tree when we were at the sidewalk and saving one of the three trees, one of the three trees in the back. I don't remember if we discussed changing the size of the caliber at the sidewalk of those trees.
Okay.
But I know we definitely discussed the whole oak tree thing. Because the other thing I was gonna say, then at the meeting on the 18th, they came back with a different plan, which you don't talk about, where they had saved that oak tree in front and they changed that 3-foot stone wall from a straight wall to a curvilinear wall to go around the oak tree. So that's a pretty important detail.
Okay.
So I've made a note of it on my version. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Um,
Okay.
And that paragraph at the top of page 3 where it says increase in size from 8 to 10 to 10 to 12, is that from FERS? What is that? That should just be crossed out, right?
Size of firs.
Could be increased in size from, you're talking about FERS there?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the arborvitae?
It's specifically saying firs.
Where is this again?
Top of page 3.
Okay, and whether proposed, so maybe you should say, and whether proposed FERS rather than tree plantings.
Right. So.
It could be increased in size from 8 to 10 to 10 to 12.
That's good.
Okay, anyone have anything on page 4?
Nope.
The only thing I had is in item 10, on the second line, I think it should say currently located in the backyard and in the second driveway, just to make it clear that those aren't going to exist anymore.
Mhm.
Anyone have anything on page 5?
Nope.
Page 6. I don't remember the style of this house, but was it really shingle style?
Mhm.
It was?
Well, it's kind of a cross between shingle style and bungalow.
That's fine, if you think it was shingle style, that's fine. Anyone have anything on page 7?
No,
Page 8?
no, boilerplate.
Page 9? The only thing on page 9 I have is what I always add, right under landscaping and lighting conditions. All proposed plantings shall be installed as shown on the approved landscape plan entitled. Anyone have anything on page 10? Don't we need to add the generator somewhere, for future generator?
40 dBA.
Yeah. Is that where we would add it under the landscape? I always forget.
I would think so.
Do they have a generator?
Yeah,
Yes.
we do.
Or proposed generator.
I thought it was in here. It's usually in other conditions.
Oh, it's usually under item 2?
It's usually under 2 other conditions. And
I don't
this,
see it.
yeah, so I'll just add generator language. This property is very close to lot setbacks, which is why I added A at the top of page 11.
Prior to issuance,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's very, oh, I see, it's close. Makes sense.
Yep.
Anyone have any changes on?
Actually, we have had situations where we've done it with the forms.
Yeah,
In other words, this would be very late in the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we should do the forms.
yeah, right. Should-
So
The forms
where
should be
would,
surveyed,
where would this go?
same
Drawings
location.
are-
Yep.
So before they pour,
Yeah.
the forms get surveyed.
Okay, anyone else have any other changes? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for certificate of action, site plan approval for 690 Wellesley Street as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What is this one?
I can make a motion that we adjourn.
I don't know, ask her.
Hey, yeah, at the very first thing, read the certificate of action, it says 690 Wellesley Street, 845, Weston, Mass. What's that 845 refer to? See it? Right under, the very first, under the Debbie Davenport's.
Page
Oh,
one.
845, cross that out.
Someone
That
want
is
to
my
move to
contribution.
adjourn? That was great.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
yes,
Aye.
yes.